You talk about Game behind his back. You talk about Lil Jon behind his back. You talk about Ray J. You's a bitch, nigga. And you know, it's like, like Malcolm has said, when a chicken come home to roost, it's all mafia, cuz. It's all mafia. A nigga holler at you, homie. You police ass nigga talking about nigga the first code of conduct is you don't talk to the police. Nigga, you is the police, nigga. Officer Wack, snitch ass 100, buster ass nigga.
And that confirms a lot of what you said earlier, Deuce, with Stutterbox being the individual to bring Ray J to him and the game, because he just said exactly what you just said. And also, Wack did admit that Stutterbox told on him. So he just explained how he got involved in that situation because he was trying to weasel his way in and, continue doing some more rat shit. That's what he was basically doing. So, Wack, honestly, I just feel like you just need to just tell the truth because you're the only outsider in that whole situation. You said it yourself that was Main Street on Main Street. Then you also said that you freed some of the main streets. He disagreed.
He said 7 or 8 of them.
7 or 8 of them. He says that's false. So once again, how were you saying you were involved and then also in the same breath say you weren't involved, saying it was Main Street on Main Street? So it's obvious that the only person that could have been on that phone had to be yours truly, Cash McElroy Jones, Wack 100. Because if it isn't, then they would have already politicked on the other Main Street person who went bad. We already know who the one went bad that was in there, but also there's somebody who wasn't from Main Street that went bad as well.
Throughout it, and then it says Wack at the end. Well, the W wasn't capitalized like a name would be. It's simple grammar, right? If the police that's transcribing it fall for them because they're talking in code, he didn't say that nigga Wack. He said I ain't helped the Wack boy. So the dumbass Fed didn't catch that they were saying Wack name. They just thought they was talking about the Wack boy, right? So that's why the W on the paperwork isn't capitalized. That's how we were able to know that that's who called Mark Stevens, and that's also how we know that CS2 back is the Wack boy. He said never said his name. Well, yeah, the paperwork got your name in it. Wack. It don't say Wack 100. Back then, you say your name wasn't Wack 100. It was C blank Wack or Lil C blank Wack to be exact, because your brother was your big homie. That was Big Wack. You know. Um, but closing, and I'm finna land. Give it back to you, Stats 280.
That
Um,
part.
the nigga Wack 100. You where I come from, when there's allegations on you, you bring your paperwork and your co-defendants or the people involved with the crime to validate that you're not an informant. You don't bring the police to the hood or to the table to validate that you're not working with the police. I know a lot of these niggas that's on Clubhouse, like 90% of them squares and civilians, so they don't really understand that. That's not what a street nigga do. So the real challenge, while you try to spin about sealed paperwork, and we not even gonna delve into that. Let's get to the bottom of this first. You challenge Stats 280 to get on the phone with you and Mark Stevens, we call that challenge. Stats 280 wanna question Mark Stevens about this case and find out who called him 3 times. If that's not it, you talk to the police, the FBI, and Greg Caden. Admittedly, we didn't even know that. So whenever you talk to the police, the first thing you got to do, that means you waive your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. So if you waive your Miranda rights, there's documentations of that. Whenever you do talk to the police, there's going to be a recording audio, and then they're going to do an investigative report about what was said through this interview and this investigation. So we want you to go get that. Bring your paperwork because you talk to the police. Anytime you ain't even supposed to talk to the police. Not only did you talk to them on the 64th floor, you admit that when you was downstairs, that they said that they owed you something. You're in front of the federal building, and not only did you get your property, the police felt comfortable enough to come downstairs to the front of the FBI building to talk to you. So we want all of that paperwork, and the only way you can clear your name, because the burden is on you, nigga. You spoke to the police. So you have the burden to prove that what you said to the police didn't incriminate nobody else. It didn't make a statement on nobody else. We're not saying you testified at trial. It says CS2 back says that he will not testify at trial because he feared for him and his wife and his family's life, that he would be executed. But as far as the paperwork from when you talk to Greg Caden, that interview, and when you talk to the FBI on that 64th floor where everybody was wearing FBI flap jackets, that's the challenge. You can't spin a thing. Hashtag thinkers. Nigga, the resistance served your bitch ass. I land.
That right.
Pyro, you ain't did shit.